RaccoonEggs rapidly rose to fame at just 18 years old, becoming one of the most beloved gaming YouTubers in the world. He was getting millions of views on every upload, and making some of the best gaming content on the platform. That was until 2019, when at the peak of his career, Rack would completely disappear from social media and stopped uploading to his channel, leaving many wondering, why would someone with an adoring fanbase of 2 million subscribers abandon their audience? Rack began making YouTube videos from a very young age, but it wasn't until August 2015 when he would finally settle on the channel we all know him for today, posting his first video, MLG Raccoons, in January 2016. After a couple more meme-style videos, now at 30 subscribers, Ezra would start to actually use his own voice in his videos, and began posting CSGO Funny Moments content over the summer of 2016. By October of that year, he would start to add more variety to his content, now posting story times and commentaries alongside the core Funny Moments content. His channel was very slowly starting to gain traction, and in November, Rack would start his now iconic How-To series. These satirical tutorials would become fan favorites, with 10 out of 12 of them now sitting at over 1 million views. However, at the time, the videos were yet to gain much traction at all. But in 2017, Rack would start getting more attention. After consistent uploads and starting a podcast, his channel would start to see considerable growth, hitting 3,000 subscribers in April 2017. But this was just the beginning, as right around this time, Rack would randomly bump into Fitz, one of the fastest growing CSGO YouTubers in the world, whilst he was playing Surf. Fitz happened to be recording, and Rack would end up getting a small feature in Fitz's next upload, seen by over 5 million viewers. Rack would see the video and ended up leaving a comment, getting over 2,000 thumbs up, and leading to many of Fitz's viewers to check out Rack's channel. However, this boost was nothing compared to the shoutout Rack would get the following week, when a very popular YouTuber, Bucks, would ask Rack to make a cameo in one of his videos titled "The Wood Rank Exists," which Rack would do, and following his appearance, Bucks would encourage his entire audience to go and subscribe to Rack. Following the shoutout, Ezra would storm to 10,000 subscribers. Around this time, Rack was starting to put much more effort into his content, and the uploads were starting to slow down, but the quality was vastly increasing. He was refining his content, and was fully focused on CSGO Funny Moments, and it was working, because by January 2018, he now had 50,000 subscribers. Then, just a month later, he would reach 100k subs. And this was just the beginning, with Rack now gaining almost 100,000 new subscribers every single month, seeing him reach 500k by July 2018, which he would celebrate by posting a face reveal. Rack was now living the dream. He was making some of the best gaming content on the platform, with an adoring fan base, growing at an insanely fast rate, pulling millions of views on every video, and even when he posted content outside of CSGO, he was still pulling millions of views. And after a few more viral uploads, Rack would reach 1 million subscribers in February of 2019. It seemed he had it all figured out. All he had to do was keep uploading funny moments in this format, and over the following years, he was sure to become a multi-millionaire with millions of subscribers. However, this is when things started to take a turn for Ezra, and in July of 2019, he'd post to Twitter an upsetting announcement for his adoring audience, writing, "I don't even think it's possible to make another CS video at this point. People start acting fake the second they realize there's a YouTuber in their server. I keep pushing and trying to record anyways, but it's just a waste of brain cells at this point. I want to move on to other content. I might just make a video explaining this in detail, instead of posting a CS video I'm not happy with. Hope you can understand." This was followed by the video, The End of CSGO, where Rack would detail how he wouldn't be making CSGO videos anymore.
It's been 4 months with no upload, but I started to notice over time, the more attention my YouTube got, the more attention I would get in CSGO. It started getting treated less and less like I was equal and more like I was put on a pedestal. And it was very uncomfortable and nerve-wracking, and it was no longer that I was able to get to know people. Nothing about my interactions with people felt human because nobody viewed me as a human. It's frustrating to realize that what got you to where you are today is slowly fading into the past, and for a while I was in denial, and I figured that if I just kept pushing, if I just kept joining servers and forcing jokes, maybe I'd be able to go back to the good old days. And there was no impossibly high expectations, and I could just talk and connect with the everyday person without getting special treatment. It's impossible when nobody wants to be themselves around you and insist on changing their personalities to impress you. And so, I'm basically completely lost, not wanting to bring people something completely different from what they expect after 4 months, but also not being able to deliver what they expect in the first place. For my own sake, I need to come to terms with the fact that the era of making videos interacting with strangers is over, whether I like it or not.
Whilst this was disappointing, it seemed Rack could keep his momentum going as long as he tweaked his format a little bit and started playing other games, and all seemed well, with him posting a Rust Funny Moments video on 9th of August 2019, which his audience was more than happy with. However, around this period, something seemed to go very wrong, and at the height of his career, Rack would disappear from YouTube. Because at this time, Rack started to become extremely self-critical of his content. He'd abandoned his YouTube channel for the rest of 2019. However, he wasn't completely gone, remaining active, posting jokes on Twitter, and very occasionally streaming throughout the end of 2019. But after 4 months of no uploads, his fans were starting to ask, when was he returning to YouTube? And Rack would address his audience tweeting, "Since people are asking, I'm reluctantly working on a new video after having no interest for months. Can't say when it will be done, but it's coming together." But it certainly wasn't coming together, as not long after this, Rack would disappear completely. No more tweets, no more streams, and for the rest of 2020, he was nowhere to be seen. It was now 2021, and it had been over a year since Rack had uploaded a video, and his viewers would finally get some type of answers. As on the 11th of January, Rack would post a twit longer, where he'd explain why he hadn't been uploading. The reason I haven't explained myself is because I have no idea how to without making people sad. But also, people get sad if I don't explain myself, so what the heck do? I haven't been able to make content or stream since June, due to a medical problem that gives me severe allergies. I've had to move 7 times in 3 years, because every rundown apartment and house in my city gives me symptoms. I've been in an Airbnb with terrible internet since October, trying to find a place, but gotten denied everywhere, so I can't say when I'll be able to come back, but I've been wanting to for a while. I'm sorry for not being straightforward earlier. I have a hard time admitting when I'm suffering. I want to be something positive people can look up to, not someone whining about their life. I'll do a comeback stream, and we can catch up once I've got a place to live. And he stuck to his word about doing a stream, and began live streaming on Twitch in late July. However, this would only last a few days, and despite averaging 1,000 to 2,000 viewers, Rack abandoned his Twitch channel after just 3 live streams. Following this, it wasn't long before video essays discussing Rack's disappearance were starting to come out, such as The End of an Era, The RaccoonEggs Story, and RaccoonEggs, A Missing Legend, with both of these videos amassing hundreds of thousands of views, and the comments being filled by Rack's adoring audience, all voicing how much they wanted him to come back to uploading. However, this wasn't enough to persuade Rack to return, and he was completely silent until mid-2022, when he would finally return with an upload, after almost 3 years of no content, with a video titled, "I'm Back, Sorta," when he would finally properly address his disappearance.
Alright, what's going on everybody? RaccoonEggs here. You probably were not expecting this video, and I don't blame you because I've been dead on all social media for 3 years. The reason I left was due to a bunch of health problems that I'm still dealing with to this day. It pretty much made it impossible to do YouTube consistently without being really ill for weeks at a time, which is why the title is I'm Back, Sorta. It's not going to be back on YouTube. Sorry that I didn't make an update sooner. I didn't want to say anything until I had something to post, because otherwise I would have just felt like I was wasting people's time.
Following this upload, there would be no new content on his main channel for the rest of 2022. However, Rack wasn't completely gone this time. After starting the Cookout podcast alongside a few friends, and it wasn't long before his co-hosts were asking the question that was on everyone's mind. Why doesn't Rack just upload videos? This question would be put across to him on the podcast, with his friends clearly growing tired with Rack's absurdly high standards for his content.
Why am I not uploading? Because I hate all the content that I get, except for some of it. Some of it is good.
At this point, it's like talking into a void. Like, Rack, I convinced you to upload, and you did, and you came back. And everyone loved it, and I told you it was going to be good, and you were like, no, I'm going to get hate. Everyone was fine, everyone was happy. You have so much content, years of backed up stuff, and it helps you format and everything, but you don't like it. You have this level of perfection.
I can't process how, if you were to take that video, put the content that you didn't think was good enough in it, and post it, and it got like, let's say 2 million views, right? That wouldn't change your mind? That wouldn't make you less critical of your content?
Yeah, it's not about numbers for me. It's about, does it make people happy? If you get a lot of comments and support, it's not the best indicator of the quality of your videos, because you might just have a young fan base.
The amount of overthinking that's going on here is just beyond me. If you're so overcritical to the point where you're only posting twice a year, that's bad. There's a certain threshold where you can be a perfectionist, and then anything after that is just being hypercritical, and you're like a 500 points above that.
You're looking out for so many different aspects in your content. It has to have good mics. Oh, this one I felt a little annoying in. I'm throwing away the entire 2 hour and 30 minute recording.
I just don't want to upload trash. It'll make people more upset than if I don't
That's
upload.
the thing is that
No one
what
thinks
you
it's
see as trash.
You are hypercritical. Do not
Yeah.
trust anything you're saying to yourself.
It's more of a humor thing. Most things I find very unfunny.
Rack, I think for you to be able to succeed is you have to relinquish this level of control over your own content.
Yeah, I need to figure out what to do about the content block.
I am rooting for you. I want this to be a successful career for you. And the hypercriticalism is preventing that. The amount of views that you get, like anybody would jump at the opportunity to have what you have.
However, Rack wouldn't listen to the advice of his friends, and his main channel remained dormant from his last upload on July 2022 all the way until April 2023, when he would finally return with a CSGO and Minecraft upload. There was still a massive demand for Rack's content, with both uploads getting over 1 million views, despite how inactive he had been online. However, there was no denying this was a significant fall from his peak when he was averaging over 5 million views per video. And following these two uploads, Rack would disappear once again for over a year, not coming back until June 2024, when he would post his final upload to the channel. In the pinned comment of the video, Rack would explain his inactivity and would state how any more videos in the future would be unlikely due to personal circumstances. And following this upload, to present day, we have seen no more RaccoonEggs uploads on the channel. Except he wasn't completely gone. One of his friends, Oddsy, who Rack shouted out in his final upload, would continue to post content, with Rack interestingly appearing in almost every one of them. These videos would only amass a few thousand views, and of that, many were Rack's most dedicated fans who'd managed to find the channel. There's been 5 uploads in the last 7 months, featuring RaccoonEggs on Oddsy's channel, from random Discord calls to CSGO funny moments, and even Rack appearing IRL in a vlog. It seemed Ezra had found the way to make the content he loves, but without any of the pressure he puts on himself when having to post to his own channel. It's unclear if he will ever upload again, but to see he's still having fun times with his friends and random players on CSGO after all these years is heartwarming to see.